guys, how we doing? Welcome to another Sunday night stream with me, Peter, right here. Now, I am aware there is going to be a bit of a cloud over this stream because unfortunately Ed Sweeney passed away last night. I am going to talk a little bit about it a little bit further into the stream, maybe in 40 minutes or so. I don't have a great deal to say. I just want to explain my relationship with Ed. He was a very good guy. I don't want the whole stream to be doom and gloom. I'm sure if Ed was watching us from up there now, he'd want us to have a good time and carry on as normal. He wouldn't want us to gloat, as it were, okay? So I'm not going to read out all the comments. A lot of nice comments there, people sending their best wishes and explaining that he's a really good guy, and it's a sad time for everybody, okay? But I don't want to turn this into a kind of memorial stream. I'll talk about it a little bit, and I've done my own kind of dedication at the end. I've put a little something together at the end, but I want the stream to be as normal as it can be, okay? I'm sure that's what Ed would have wanted as well, okay? So let's go straight into it. I'm going to just read the comments for now that are not related to Ed Sweeney, and as I say, I'll come back in about 30-40 minutes, and I'll talk a little bit about him and his life. All right, okay. And as who was it? Nick Dean did an excellent video on him. As he said at the end, it's a very difficult subject to talk about on camera. You know, it does reduce you to tears, actually. I'm feeling myself well up now, so I'm going to move on right now. Okay, right. I would say hi, first of all, to Donald Trump. How you doing? One of my longest all-time viewers. Good to see you in. I'm just going to get past all these, what we've just been talking about. Well, I'll just say hi to everybody who's in, who we got in. We've got Dick's Enormous, thank you for your earlier message. Phil Horn, how you doing? Ryan Seeger, how are you doing? Smooth Operator, yeah, I agree with that. Martin Ryder, welcome. Uncle Willie B, greetings from somewhere near Fresco, California. Paul Hoskins, how you doing? I do like that. Yeah, I'll be talking a little bit about that as well. I'll just put that up on screen there. Sean, how are you doing? It's been a long time since we've had you in the stream. What honors us tonight? Yeah, no, I get it. You know, I've been going. I'm into my 6th year YouTubing now, and what happens is people sign up or they not sign up. You know, they subscribe. I do it myself, and then it becomes a little bit boring watching the same thing over and over, isn't it? You know, if you've heard one breakup story, you've heard them all. But good to see you in for another stream. Maybe it's just a one-off, but we'll see. Now, the Thai baht is very, very strong at the moment. Let me just put this up, and you can see what I know you can look online, but I always like to put this on anyway. You can see what your currency is doing. The pound's down to about 42 baht for a pound, 42 baht 07. But you won't actually get that. That's the rates publicized on the currency exchange on Google. When you go to a change booth here, you'll be lucky to get 42. You know, I mean, a while ago I thought it was going to hit 50. If it goes below 40, that's going to be dreadful. Like I said, when I was here with my wife in Thailand, right here in Hua Hin, we were getting 38 baht to the pound. That's no joke, you know. Who else we got in? Chris Joe, I know I always get your name wrong, right? Hello and Merry Christmas. Do you know, it doesn't feel like Christmas. You know, here I am in Hua Hin. There's not a lot of sign of Christmas. It's not like back home where it's all over the TV and they're playing, you know, Chris Rea driving home for Christmas and Slade, Merry Christmas, here it is, Merry Christmas. There's none of that. I mean, probably more so in Pattaya, you know, because it's a party town and they really get into that. But here it's kind of very, it's very low key. And I think this year I've booked a really nice restaurant for my girlfriend and myself on New Year's Eve. It's costing me 6,000 baht in total. That's about 150 pounds, but it's over the water, over the ocean. And it's a full buffet with a glass of champagne at midnight and all the fireworks on the beach. But this year, for Christmas, it's going to be another day for me. I'm not religious. I don't have children here. My girlfriend's Buddhist. She doesn't celebrate it. So we're just going to treat it as another day, you know, which isn't very high-spirited, I know, but what can you do? Lee, how are you doing? First time ever watching a live. Good to see you in the stream. I've just answered that one, haven't I, Paul? Matt, hi. Peter, just got back. Let's put that up there. Just got back from Mae Hong Song from a border run to Chang Klong, is it? Chang, I probably pronounced it wrong, but Friendship Bridge at Laos. Okay, well done for that. You know, that's one thing I miss about Bangkok. There's nowhere around here for me to walk, you know, because I'm in a kind of village on the out. I'm in Hua Hin, but it's a kind of village as well, 7 miles from the centre. And I'm in a nice street and a nice house, but when I go outside the street, it's all like soy dogs and stuff, you know. And when I can walk down all the streets in the village, but you know, every gate you get to, a bloody dog starts barking at you. I've got one of those dog repellents. You know, it does work. It's like a strobe light. They don't know what's hit them, literally. But it's no fun. You know, you're trying to have a nice walk, and these dogs keep coming out to attack you. You know, they don't attack me because I've got that dog repellent. It's like a strobe thing. It really works well. Okay, let me get rid of this. Okay, let's carry on. Let's carry on for a while. Who did I last say hi to? Yoz Deals, how are you doing? Yeah, I've talked about it a little bit already. We'll be talking about that a little bit later on. I think what I'm going to have to do is do little snippets of talking, because if I try and say it all in one go, I'll probably, you know, have a tear like Nick Dean did. Brian, hi Peter, really enjoy your channel. Thanks, Brian, I appreciate that. After all the trolls, you know, it's nice to get a few compliments. Richard, hi Peter and all. Lee, sound is awful, Peter. Shouldn't be. I always get somebody say that. I wonder if it really is or it's not. I've got pillows here now that bounce so I don't get the echo. Other people, tell me about the sound. Let me just check I'm on the right microphone. I'm on the wrong mic. Okay, that should be a lot better now. Just let me know if the sound's improved with you guys. I'll jump down to the latest comments. I just want to know if the sound, I forgot to swap the mics over. I've got an external expensive Rode mic here, but it was using the default USB. It must have sounded really awful because I know what it sounds like. Yeah, I should be on a different mic now. Let me know anyway. That was from Richard. Thank you, Richard. Lee, rather. Audio not good, says Martin. Right, let me just jump down to the last comments. Okay, way better. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, if I every single, since I moved to Hawaiian, every stream I've done, something's gone wrong, hasn't it? But the sound should be crystal now, like it normally is. I don't know why I didn't check that. Naughty, naughty boy, as Basil 40 would say. Right. Okay, Yoz Deals. Hope the lawn is bedding in now with the extra seed. It's like a caring for a little newborn baby. You know, I'm making all these videos about my grass. One guy left a comment. I said last week. He says, "I don't know how I landed on this video about some guy growing his grass, but I'm actually enjoying it. Grass is as in the lawn, you know, not the other sort." Is that Baba? How you doing? Best wish I'll put that up there because I think I've said your name wrong. Mark, afternoon, Peter. What have you had for your tea? I went out for dinner actually because it's very cheap to eat here in Hawaiian. I had kaupak gai, fried rice with chicken and an egg on top. Haven't had rice for ages. 45 baht. Can you imagine? Oh, what was it in last time I had it in Bangkok? I think it was about 140. I can't pronounce that name. Hi, Peter. Donald from neighboring country, Malaysia. We spend our, is it okay? I think I know what you mean there. Spend our holidays crossing over to Thailand. Okay, well you're right next door, aren't you? Remy, how you doing? Nice to hear from you. Hello, Peter from Parakanong. Okay, good. Who's this? Godlike 915 in Pattaya with 3 of my friends who are newbies, so going to take them straight to Soy 6 as I will find it funny. Yeah, I get very shy down there. You know, I mean, even though I'm an old guy. You know, I mean, they're grabbing at you, aren't they? Trying to get you in the bars. It's very, it's fun, but it's, you've been at Soy 6, you know what I'm talking about, right? Rennie, is it? Yeah. Hi, Peter and everybody at the stream. In 18 days, I will be in Thailand, and that I do look forward to. Yeah, rain's stopped. The temperatures are down. It's very busy at the moment. You'll have a good time. Thai Billy Boy, how you doing? Tube 9230, top of the morning from Los Angeles. Ben Lino, the sound isn't great. Oh, that was before, wasn't it? I must be way down in the comments. Hi, Peter. I just got back from Hua Hin today. Was at Bangkok on Friday, but didn't manage to meet you. Thanks for the content. Appreciate it. You're welcome. Thank you. It's up to you. Sawadee Kap. Kev, I did not celebrate Christmas. It's just a business, same as religion itself. All right. Ronald, there's more Christmas music in Jakarta shopping centres than in Perth. I was so surprised. Yeah, bearing in mind that in Indonesia is mainly a Muslim country, isn't it? Not a Christian country. It's the same here. When you go in the malls, it's all like really, they play the Christmas music, but it's very corny songs, you know, really, it just doesn't suit it here. You know, it's you know, I'm sitting by the fire, you know, eating mince pies, some song giving these kind of words out, you know, and you're in this hot country, Thailand, and it you know, sleigh bells ringing, and it just doesn't gel, you know, it just doesn't sound right. But maybe I'm just being a miserable old fart because I'm old now.
Okay, everybody's saying the sound's better. That's good. Let's move on from there. I've got a really good laptop as well. It was over £1,000 3 years ago before I came here, but obviously I don't know why the camera and the mic on it's not that great, but everything else is good. Sean, I create my own Christmas and Halloween atmosphere here. It can be done if you want. Okay. I suppose there's a group of you, if you know, I mean, I've just moved down here, so I don't know that many people. And I suppose if you're part of a kind of club or a group and there's, that sort of thing. Let me just see what this guy's saying. I've just got to, no, he can wait. Okay. Yes, I'd like to go for a run, but the dogs are serious. So many aggressive. I can hear them barking as I type this. Brian. Yeah. I mean, they're actually, those dogs, if you do get one of those repellents, the soy dogs, they do actually work. The one I've got's got 2 very strong, like pinhead strobe lights on them and a red light so you can point it at them, like a pointer. And they get confused. They don't know what it is, and they run away. I had one a few weeks ago was coming up to me, barking aggressively, and I just pointed. It only works in the dark, really. That's the thing, because it's a strobe light. I pointed it and it ran off, They do work. Hi, Peter from a cold Carlisle. Have a good stream. Ben Leno, good now, mate. Okay. Alibaba and the 40 ladies. Peter, thanks. Not a Huahin backup. Okay. Uncle Willie B is better. Yeah. Paul, I like a lot of stuffing at Christmas. A typical Paul Hoskin comment there. Peter, I like your channel, but you don't want to show. I'm going to delete that because I explained that at the beginning. Okay. Hey up, Peter. Mark Hanley, how you doing? Alibaba and the 40 ladies. Nothing beats the smell of freshly cut grass. Absolutely. A lot of people wrote to me and said, why don't you just put down AstroTurf, like plastic imitation grass? But it's horrible, it looks okay when you first get it, but after a while, with all the dust in the air and everything, you have to constantly hose it down, and then clean water. You need to, after a while or so, a year or so, you need to scrub it down with hot water and soap. So I love the smell of fresh cut grass. Like you say, there's nothing like it. Right, Nathan Ruff says, I'm thinking of leaving Pattaya because I spoke to a bar lady and now her Australian boyfriend is bullying me and harassing me and threatens me if I'm at the same bar as him, and he's now tries to find me to make my life a misery. What do you suggest, being here 19 months? What I would say is there are some nutters about, and a lot of Pattaya does attract some strange characters, I've seen this before where, a guy's gone into a bar, spoke to a bar lady, and she sort of said, no, I don't have a boyfriend, I'm single, and he's gone off with her because she's a pretty girl. And then she has actually got a boyfriend who lives in Pattaya, or he flies in quite often. He finds out about it and he's extremely jealous. I mean, if he's kind of like following up on his threat, well, the problem is if he says if he sees you in the same bar, he could be anywhere, right? I would move to another town, really. I wouldn't leave Thailand. I wouldn't let the guy leave Thailand, but you can't go out to the bars worrying that this guy might be there and he might beat you up, I just moved to another town, somewhere. There is nowhere else like Pattaya, unfortunately, but you did ask me, and I think if it was me and I was afraid, I think that's what I'd do. I think I'd just pack up and move to another town. It's not worth the hassle, is it? You don't want to be, how can you be out enjoying yourself, having a beer when you're looking around at, if this guy's here, Or the other alternative you could do is go to the police and make a report. They would take it seriously. You just give them a statement. And then if he does eventually do something, then you've already filed a police report, right? And they would lock him up. If he assaulted you, they would lock him up. And the CCTV everywhere in Pattaya. So if he hit you, for instance, there'd be evidence, because all the bars and a lot of the streets in town now, they're all CCTV'd up. Alibaba, fairly quiet for busy season. Cambodian skirmish must have scared some off. Yeah, for sure. And a lot of Chinese not coming as well because of things that have happened in the past. Okay. Thank you, James. That's very kind of you. Paul Hoskin, will you go to Bangkok at Christmas and look at the decorations? No. I don't like driving from here to Bangkok. The bus takes about 3.5 hours. I'm here on my own at the moment because my girlfriend's gone up to Lopburi. Her sister's brother died, so she went up for the funeral. I spoke to her today up in Lopburi. She's going to Bangkok tomorrow to see her friends at the hospital, and then she's coming down by train on what we today, on Tuesday, you know, so it's kind of nice for her to have a break because she hasn't, you know, she was in a busy hospital working 10 hours a day. She had a lot of friends in the hospital. Then she suddenly got no job. She's down here. She doesn't know anybody. So I actually wanted her to go up to Bangkok so that she can, you know, let her hair down, as it were. I know I'm going to get the jokes coming now, but, you know, I don't think so. Right. Dean-san, the mall in Karat was banging out the Christmas tunes today. Any excuse to make money of something. Yeah, well, it's business, isn't it? I mean, it's even worse in the UK now. What I don't like is this thing that they're doing where they don't use the word Christmas. The lights, I won't get political, but what's happening in England at the moment, all the Christmas lights, there's not the word Christmas isn't anywhere to be seen, is it? Also, Easter eggs, they changed the name to something else. They take the word Easter out of it. It's crazy. And now I read that we've had juries for hundreds of years in courts, right? And now our corrupt government now are saying, well, it's too backed up. We'll get rid of the juries, you know, without anybody having a vote or putting it to the people or anything. They're cancelling local elections so they can stay in power. I mean, this has got to be the most corrupt. I don't normally do politics, but honestly, it really makes my hair stand up on end. Those two, you know who I'm talking about. Right now, stream is lagging. Sorry to say. I'll just do a Google speed check. Well, that's fast. I got nearly 600 megabits. So I don't know. It must be. I think it's going to be from your end. Yoz Dills, there is about 8 soy dogs in the missus's soy. They would bark at me, but once they get to know you, they won't. I want a pat on the head. Yeah. The problem is, though, in Thailand, there are some dogs. There was a case recently in Bangkok, not in the center of Bangkok, but kind of in Bangkok. You get the odd dog has rabies, you know. And there was one area of Bangkok about a year ago, actually, the government were putting out a message if you can stay away from that area, you know. So it's all very well patting dogs, but you don't know, you know, I mean, it's rare for them to have rabies, but you could be bitten by that 1 in 1,000, right? And that's a horrible thing to get, you know, rabies. Wheelchair bound. Hey, Peter, greetings from a cold UK. Okay. Nice to see you in the stream. Mr. Cat Eyes. Hi, Peter. Do you recommend staying at the base in Pattaya? Seems really good on Airbnb. Excuse me. I've never stayed there, so I can't recommend it, but I've never read any bad things about it. It's a very popular place to stay. Give it a try. I mean, you can only go wrong once, can't it? I don't think you'll have a problem, no. Paul, what fruit and vegetables do you grow in your garden? I don't know, because she planted everything and it's too soon, you know. They've only been in the ground for about a month. Celtic Tie, the AstroTurf is terrible for the local environment and habitat. Best to have greenery. Yeah, and it gets very, very hot, isn't it? You couldn't walk on it, not with bare feet. Anyway, Ronald, can you change your light? It looks like you've got a moustache that reminds me of a German chancellor. I can't really do anything because I haven't got any external. What I've done, I've actually turned so that my glass. I'm going to turn the brightness up on my laptop because I always turn it down for a stream. Because if I ever don't, you see the glare on my glasses. So the only way I can take that glare away is turn the brightness right down so I can just about read the comments. There's a couple of bits I wanted to talk to you about. Now, I don't know if this will be of any interest to anybody who comes down to Hua Hin. Now, if you want to go for a massage, let me just there's a couple of bits I want to show you. If you want to go from a regular massage, there's actually an organization down here. It's a regular massage shop, but it's for blind people because charity isn't nearly non-existent here, isn't it? And it's fairly cheap as well. I'm going to put the address up in a minute. But it's a massage shop like you get everywhere else, but all the people are actually blind, and it's giving back, isn't it? If there's something, if you want to help them in a way, you could go there and have a massage. You only need to go once. You might even enjoy it. So there's the address. I won't keep that up there too long, but if it's something you think you'd like to try to give back, then you can rewind this and or pause it and have a look where it is on Google Maps, and then you can go along and have a look. I just thought I'd give them a mention because I haven't been myself, but somebody mentioned it to me, and I do like to help people if I can. I want to say a quick hello to Andrew Hammond. I met him. Andrew Hammond. He's got a. Let me just get his YouTube channel up. I'll just put that on there for a while. So that's his YouTube channel, Real World Backpacker. Again, if you want to look at his channel, you can go back and have a look at that. But I've also got something else I want to show you. We had a good night. I don't often go out these days, but I met Andrew in Soy Bintabat, and that's the two of us getting a little bit inebriated. And he does some good videos, Andy. We fell out for a while, if you remember, because I lent him some cash and I thought he'd run off with it. But actually, his mother was very, very ill. And I got it back in the end. So we're the best of friends again. And that was in one of the small bars in Bintabat. The reason it looks quiet is because we were there real early, about 7:30. We'd had dinner, and not together, but we'd had dinner. And there we are. That's the start of quite a few of them, to be honest with you. And then I just want to say hi to Sam Moffat. I missed him last week. He's another viewer who came in. He works on LinkedIn in Singapore. He's quite high up their technical department. And I met him in Costa here in Hua Hin. I forgot to put the picture up last week. Okay, so just say hi to a couple of people there. Right. Okay, Yoz says, I've done the base once. It's okay. Grand Avenue better. Done that twice. Okay, so there you go to the person who asked for that. Alibaba says, Peter, best you get your 2 rabies shots for lifetime immunity. I didn't know you could get rabies shots. I'll inquire about that. John Smith, are PPL in Thailand queuing up to buy silver like they do gold? Now, gold is the big one here. The Thais treat it like cash, you know. I sold some recently when it was at its all-time high. I'm really pleased about it. Yeah, Martin Ryder confirming what I just said. He said little Christmas trees called evergreen trees. Okay, Thai American, couldn't Peter, will you watch Home Alone on the telly? No, I definitely won't. I sent a Christmas card home. That's about it for the girls. Graham Neild, hi, for a single 52-year-old in Hua Hin to quiet, or would Jumptin be a better option to go and live? I've been 5 times to Thailand. The only place I've not been is Hua Hin. You'd probably want to get yourself a little scooter in Hua Hin because transport's not the best, but it's a nice town. You know, it's really underrated. There's a lot of nice places to eat. There's a lot of international places. Stumble in from Soifor. They've just opened in Wonderland there. You got Scruffy Murphy's Irish pub. You got Father Ted's Irish pub. I could name, you know, you got lots of nice Thai bars, Thai restaurants, Indian restaurants. You know, there's beautiful beaches within 15 minutes of Hua Hin. There's a beach in Hua Hin, but it's not the best. I'd rather live here than Jumptin. There's a lot of I've got to be careful how I say this. There's a lot of us, one kind of a race in Jumptin that kind of dominate the area, you know, and it's I think it's better down here myself. Lee says, in Tesco, Christmas is now the winter festival. Bloody awful. Somebody told me a good joke today. I got to share it. I do joke of the week in the member stream, but somebody sent me this, and I thought it was really funny. Let me just see if I can pull it up here. So I had to rush the dog to the vet's. He ate the Christmas tree lights. When the vet said he'd be okay, his little face lit up. I thought that was quite good. Right, okay, just going back a little bit more. Just make sure the batteries in the dog repellent don't die at an inappropriate time. Yeah, okay, good point. Anders Bergman says, Merry Christmas and good luck. Thank you. I'm going backwards now here. Okay, put that up there, Martin. Oh, yeah, okay, right. So I can't do anything. You were saying about the light, wasn't it? Right, let's go down to... Right, okay, so let me talk a little bit about Ed Sweeney, because lots of people have been sending in messages of condolences. If you've been living on the moon and you haven't yet heard, Ed Sweeney passed away at about 6 p.m. last night. It was announced by Nick Dean. You know his history. He's a YouTuber like I was. I don't want to talk about that aspect so much about his illness and what happened. Everybody, if you go and watch the Nick Dean video, it's about 10 minutes long. It's very well explained. And, you know, he goes through the history and all the rest of it. I just want to talk a little bit about the relationship between Ed and myself. So Ed was one of the guys. I want to talk about the happy times, not the sad times, okay? He's a great fella. And as I said, I've done my own tribute to him at the end of this stream, about a minute long. And but I don't want it to be doom and gloom. I want to talk about the good side of things. So I was inspired by 2 people to make a YouTube channel. Let me just, no, I won't interrupt this. I was inspired by 2 people to make a YouTube video. So 5.5 years ago, I didn't have a YouTube channel, but like everybody else, I used to watch certain people on YouTube. And there's 2 people I used to watch very, very often. I wouldn't miss their shows. And that was Simon, Land of Smiles, because I liked his stories. I didn't want to copy him. I wanted to emulate him. There is a big difference there. And I liked Ed Sweeney. The reason I liked Ed Sweeney is because there was this 50-year-old guy at the time, around 55, about the same age as me. I think he's a couple of years younger than me. And I didn't want to miss his streams. I used to get a couple of cans in, and I used to set it all up. Excuse me. And I used to watch his streams. And the reason I used to watch his streams, because I used to watch him, I thought, that guy he thinks how I think. I could relate to him. He wasn't some youngster who's kind of jumping about on Walking Street, trying to do something flash with his camera, or somebody who, they're doing bullshit videos that are not, they're not, they're just trying to get a reaction. Ed was just one of those guys. He sat down in front of the camera and he just talked about whatever you wanted to talk about, or he'd express his feelings. One of his favorite sayings, I believe, was, I've got a sneaky feeling I'm going to enjoy this. And we all look forward to that squeaky door. Do you remember way back in the days of COVID? And he always had a mystery meal in his streams, which is very, very funny, very good. Damon, if you've been watching for a long time, you remember Damon did a takeoff of Ed. Where he's munching down on some food, and he sent it to Ed, and we put it up on I put it up on the stream, and Ed loved it. He thought it was really funny, and everyone had a good giggle at it. And then I started my channel, and then I got to know Ed, and I think it was me who suggested to him that we do a live stream together. And we thought it'd be an hour's live stream, like all the other live streams, And this was during COVID, when I used to get 600-700 people in a stream, because we're all stuck in the same boat. I've got 188 people in there, but to be fair, a lot of people might have gone off to watch that Nick Dean stream. I normally get about 250, something like that. Anyway, so we did this 5-hour live stream. It was incredible, and it was really enjoyable. It was like being down the pub with all my mates, and Ed was on one side of the camera, I was on the other. And I remember I got so tanked up, so drunk that after 3 hours I was like, Ed, take over, I'm going to the toilet. And he'd just look at the comments and he'd carry on reading as if it was his stream. He couldn't show the comments, obviously. And then I'd come back and he'd go off. And I remember Trevor from Buzz and Patter, he'd been watching us early in the stream, and he went off somewhere for a little sleep. And he'd come back after 5 hours and he'd look and he says, Jesus, are you guys still going? So that was a fantastic memory. I really enjoyed that. And then we did another one. I said to Ed, we got to do another one. He says, I can't do 5 hours. And I was like, no, we're not going to do 5 hours. We'll just do an hour. But that went on for 3 hours. And it was great, so good memories from those days. And I really liked the guy. We had a little bit of a, let's just say, a misunderstanding because of a third party, Steph Traveller. Remember him, the guy who did a bit of shit stirring, and unfortunately Ed didn't come to me and get my side of the story, so that was unfortunate. But there was no kind of hate involved or anything like that. It was just a little bit of a misunderstanding. But as I say, he's passed away now. I just wanted to take 5 minutes to give you my thoughts. And believe it or not, you might not know this, but me and Ed used to phone each other. So I'd be out with my dog in England and I'd phone him, and I knew what he did for a living, but he asked me not to tell anybody. I'm sure everybody knows now. So I had to respect his privacy. But, he'd phone me up and we'd talk about different things. I'd phone him up some nights and we'd talk about different things. I think he drank a little bit too much, like I drink a little bit too much. So I could relate to him. He was a nice, down-to-earth guy. He was my sort of guy. He was a sort of guy, believe it or not, I never actually met him. I never bumped into him in patio. I never bumped into him anywhere. Had I bumped into him and had a beer with him, I'm sure we would have got on like a house on fire. We would have had a really good time. Unfortunately, that will never happen now. I've got very fond memories of the guy. Lots of nice comments coming in. I think Nick Dean did an excellent job explaining everything. And all I can say is, Ed Sweeney, if you're up there watching this stream, rest in peace, mate. And we're all going to miss you. Okay, that's all I want to say for now. And as I say, the last minute of the stream, I've done a little tribute of my own. Okay, right. Okay, I'm going to get on with the stream now, so I'll well up. Right. Okay. Okay. Aussie Rose. Hi, Peter. About your newly purchased house. Are warranties provided against defects, water leaks, electrical? Just wondering also what might be the monthly electrical bill. Okay, so that's a really good question. So yeah, they only give us a year warranty, and what that year warranty, and we have used it, but it's not like back in the UK where you have to fill out paperwork and then they have an inspection, then they decide whether they're going to fix it for free. It's so easy going here. So what they do, they give you a year's warranty, and all that year is if teething problems when you first move, and we've had them. when you first move in, you get little teething problems, and we just phone. They're called the Chang here, you know, the builders. So the head guy, he speaks really good English. You know, he used to work with foreigners. I don't know what he did, but we just ring him up, and it's for little things like the water pump wouldn't turn off. You know, each house here has its own individual, a big tank outside and a water pump, and the water pump. You flush your toilet and the water pump comes on for half a minute, then it goes off, and it wouldn't go off. And he came around, he sorted it out. The carport had a strip come down because of the heat, you know, it just melts the putty and everything. They came in and they fixed that. Any leaks, anything like that. After the year, you can just bring tradesmen in from outside. They're very, very cheap. You know, it's not like in the UK where they want £200 a day. You know, it's like, I actually got a quote. I've got grass at the front, grass down the side, and grass down the back. And when it was nearly dead, I got a quote for guys to come here, lift the dead grass, lay the new turf, and including the cost of the turf, 10,000 baht. You know, I mean, it's so cheap here. So they don't do kind of long-term 20, 30-year guarantees because the houses are very simply built here. They're built with breeze blocks. There's no installation in the loft. You've just got the flat ceiling and then the supports, which are metal, and then the roof tiles. You know, the breeze block is plastered over. Everything's tested. I mean, when I came to look at this house, I brought it's a plug with, when you plug it, it's an adapter with 2 sockets. So when you plug it in, there's a light on off, and I put that on, and I plugged it in every single plug in every room. And had one of them not worked, then I would have told him. The only thing when I moved in was in the lounge there was two light switches with a plastic surround that just clicks on, and the hinges were broken. And I told the guy, because he was with us, I said, look, this is knackered. And I came back and it was fixed. It was a brand new one on there. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Right, I'm gonna, if I don't jump a few of these comments, I'm gonna be well behind in them. So I'm gonna jump a few. So if you've got a question and I miss it, I'm not ignoring you. It's just I don't want to be half an hour behind. I just half an hour behind. I'll just say thank you and hi to Lena North 9. Okay, hopefully we'll see you in the member stream. Lots of good stuff lined up tonight. We've got Spot the Ladyboy, we've got Joke of the Week, we've got Spot the Real Thai Girl, lots of stuff. So hopefully we'll see you in there. Yoz, we have some cracking streams 4 or 5 years ago. Great nights. Yeah, they were. I don't think it's that the streams are bad now. I just think that it's, you know, during COVID, we were all in the same boat. We were all miserable. We weren't allowed out once a day or something like that. And, you know, that live stream back then, if I can blow my own trumpet, that live stream, we all got drunk, all of us. Everybody who drank too much because they couldn't go anywhere. We said what we wanted. You know, we had a laugh. At one point, I brought 10 people into the stream, all talking at once. Nobody understood anything. We were all drunk, but they were good times, good times. I'm just going to say thank you to Mr. Thai American. 1 year supply of earplugs for the speaker vans. I got some shit for that, you know, I really did. Let me explain. I don't know if you want to look at my Facebook page. Let me just go. I've got a Facebook page. I don't upload the same content on YouTube as I do on Facebook. I've just hit 62,000 followers on Facebook today, but you get so many trolls, as I've mentioned before. There's not very many things I don't like about Thailand, but one of the things I don't like are those vans that come around the neighborhood at kind of 7 in the morning with 2 big speakers on, and they drive at about 5 miles an hour and they shout down the mic. It's pre-recorded, you know, and I really don't like them, but I'm not dictating or saying they have to change. I'm not going to go to City Hall and say I don't like them. It's just something that happens here. But I just mentioned it on a video. I said, oh, I really don't like these. You know, they wake me up, and people are like, oh, you shouldn't be in bed at 7 o'clock. You should be up. And, oh, you're moaning. If you don't like it, go back to the UK or go and live in a temple then. And it's like you're not allowed to have an opinion because you're in Thailand. You know, I get so many people stick the boot in, you know. I was about a year ago, I was going to pack up YouTube. I just got fed up with the comments. You know, you can put the best video in the world up there and somebody will complain about it or call you something. And you don't get that so much on YouTube because it's, you know, YouTube filters comments and you get to look at them before they go up. Bradley, thanks for the message tip. I have a triple spinal fusion. I live for a good massage. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, it'd be nice if you could go and see those people. You know, as I say, they're blind, but, you know, apparently they do good massages. Paul Hoskins, she doesn't stop after the first massage, but the second massage takes longer than the first. Paul. This is quite important. This might affect some people who get scammed on their credit cards. Okay. So this is the latest news out. So previously, if you had a credit card and it got ripped off, the bank wouldn't pay the money back. They said you, as the holder of that credit card, are responsible, and they wouldn't pay it. But the Thai courts have now ruled in favor of the customer over the bank. So I'll just read this out. It might not affect you, but if you come here with a Thai credit card, let me read it out. It just says, Thai court rules, banks must prove credit card fraud, not customer. Thailand's Supreme Court has ruled that banks, not customers, must prove who authorized disputed credit card transactions, set a legal precedent that strengthens consumer protection against cyber scams. The case Supreme Court ruling number, won't read the number out, began when a bank sued a customer over charges made on their credit card without the cardholder's knowledge or consent. The customer denied making the transactions, stating their card had been hacked or cloned, while the bank argued that the cardholder was still liable under the terms of the credit card agreement, which typically hold users responsible for all activity. The Supreme Court rejected the bank's claim, ruling that it is the bank's responsibility, not the customer's, to prove who authorized the disputed transactions because banks design, operate, and profit from credit card systems. The court found they must also bear the burden of verifying identity in the event of fraud. So that's very good, isn't it? I'm sure there's some people who come here and they get their cards scammed online, so you can now ask, you're not responsible if that happens. Okay, back on the soy dogs here. Dave, is it Dave? Says that when I spend any time in an area with soy dogs, I give them treats and they soon recognize me and become friendly. Yeah, but I can't give, it's a good point, but I can't walk around the neighborhood carrying lots of treats and giving them to every dog that I come across. I've heard that before. Peter, go to the Red Cross, the rabies shop, very cheap. Okay, I didn't even know there was a rabies shop. Sid over there on Facebook, thanks for the show and comments, much appreciated. Thank you, Sid. And David Lowe also on Facebook. Keep up the great live streams. I'm excited to be getting back to Pattaya soon. We'll be there for a New Year's Eve. I got my retirement visa last year, so staying till spring and traveling a little more this trip. Checking out Vietnam for a few weeks. Thanks for the vids and agree. It's your life. Eat what you want, like growing the grass and laugh at the trolls. Yeah, it's amazing. If I go out and I have a pizza, I get comments. You're in Thailand. Why aren't you eating Thai food? Or it's just comical, really. I wonder who these people are. Yours, we have some cracking. I've read that, haven't I? Okay, let's. Okay, Martin, I'll answer this. He said, Eddie was honest about mongering. Most YouTube channels deny having anything to do with it. So from my side, I was married, right? I don't need to say any more than that, do I? But he was honest about it. Matt says, what did he do for a living, Peter? I'll never say. A lot of people know, but I won't say because Ed himself said, don't tell anybody. Just because he's not here doesn't mean I'm not going to honor his request to me. Sean, that Nick guy almost died too in Cambodia. Something with his intestines falling out. I think he's okay now. I don't know. I don't know if he nearly died, but I know he did go to Cambodia and saved about £700 on the. It's quite worrying, isn't it? Really. I mean, I'm coming up to 66 in April, and at the moment, I mean, I've put weight on again. Look, I've come off the pen now. I think I'm about 105 again. It pisses me off. I wish I had more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Not motivation, more willpower. Well, it's two words, isn't it? I wish I had more willpower because I seem to be getting a little bit up here, and I hate it. And being overweight doesn't help health issues. You're supposed to eat whole foods, aren't you? But the food here is so nice, and it's hard to avoid. Not so much deep fried, but stir fried. There's so much Thai food is stir fried, but it is worrying. Like I say, I'm coming up to 66 in April, and it could happen. I don't want to touch wood. I'm not even going to say it. All right. I can't pronounce your name, don't you? Okay. Right. Jars, is it? Cheap and cheerful quality builders at a premium in Thailand, yeah. But then that reflects the price, doesn't it? I mean, I'm in a three bedroom, 2-bathroom house, which is a bungalow. It's one level. It's got a nice big carport. You've seen the video, right? It's equivalent to like £55,000. You wouldn't get a garden shed for that in the UK. Sean, what's the nightlife like in Chatham? It's pretty good. There's a lot of beer bars. Okay, you've got Wonderland, you've got Binter Bar, you've got Soy 88, you've got Walking Street, which is Soy 80. I mean, it's nothing like Patio at all. You don't have go-go clubs. You don't have gentlemen's clubs. There's a Royal Palace here, so they try to keep the town clean. The public hospital is very good. It's crowded, but it's very good. I use a public hospital, a government hospital, I should say. But if you're one of those guys who come here and you want to have the best of both worlds, yeah, it's good. I mean, they have a nightlife here. You know, it's not like Chatham, which is a beautiful town, but there's nothing there virtually. Okay, Ronald, Peter, can you release the member stream a day late so we can all watch it? Yeah, if you become a member, for sure. Peter, can you release? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Well, no, because it's a member stream. You know, members pay a small fee every month, and you know they got to get something for it, haven't they? You know, they get early videos that the stories that come out on Saturday, members get to watch on a Tuesday, and the member stream is for members. There's no point in having a member stream, is there, if everybody can watch it? Bench Press King is. Have you spent much time in Udon Thani? It's a good place to learn Thai. I went there once about 25 years ago. I'm learning a lot of Thai because I'm obviously living with a Thai girl. It's really coming on now. Okay, thank you, Mark. Right, Paul, is there anywhere in Thailand that you would like to go that you haven't gone to yet? I can't name a place, but I'm discovering a lot of nice beaches and towns. I went to a place called Cranberry a couple of times. That's a real nice beach town. Like I said, because of where we are, we're on the other side of the Gulf to Pattaya. There's just so many nice places to visit. You know, you go further south, and they're not far. You go anywhere within half an hour, you discover all these nice new places. You know, I've been on beaches where I've been the only one there, and it's like something from a postcard. You know. Right, Jim Ryan. Some people just cannot be pleased. Advent Thailand twice and plan to go back soon. Keep up the great information. Much appreciated. Thank you, Jim. I'll tell you one thing that's really strange. I mentioned this on the last stream. When I was in Bangkok, I got recognized about twice a week. When I was in Pattaya, I got recognized maybe once a day. Down here, if I go out, I get recognized up to 5 times a day. You know, people will stop me in the street, or I had a guy, I was in Ban Kun Po, that's a big popular night market here, and a guy come up, he just put a large chang on the table and he says, love your videos. I mean, I get a lot of shit from trolls and stuff as well, but there's the other side of the coin. You know, I must have quite a big audience down here, you know, hence why I like the place. Okay, Martin says, the good news in hospitals in Phnom Penh are guest friendly. Okay, yeah, you spend quite a bit of time over there, don't you? Paul Hoskins, I would love to be 105 kg. Tell us how much you weigh, Paul. You can't be much more than that, surely. Paul, will anybody be dressed as Santa in Hua Hin? I'll be home, so I won't know. There's going to be Christmas parties all over Hua Hin, isn't there? Just like anywhere. It's just I'm getting old now, and I don't like going out late nights. I don't really understand that, Ronald. You said, funny how Peter just answered the question about the nightlife in Chatham in a backward way. What do you mean by a backward way? I'm just being honest. Wow, Paul, 118 kilos. That's heavy. That's very heavy. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. If you're coming down, I mean, it's not the sort of place I would really go to myself, but there's a hard rock cafe opening up in Hua Hin. I don't know exactly where. I believe it's somewhere around the Hilton. I don't really go to those sort of places. You know, it's tourist prices, isn't it? If you're into that, you know, Irish pubs and English themed pubs and hard rock cafes and Hooters and all those sort of places. When I did go out, you know, I'd prefer to go to, you know, local bars, you know, the Thai kind of style bars. You know, when I'm here, when I used to go out, I'm not really. I did go to Cowboy and Nana when I was younger. But you know, if I go out now, well, even 10 years ago, you know, I don't like those Western. I'm not knocking them. A lot of tourists come in. They like going to places like Hard Rock, but for me, they don't do a lot for me. You know, I didn't fly 6,000 miles to, you know, hang out in a Hooters or a Hard Rock cafe. But just if you're one of those person who likes those sort of places, there is one opening up here. I don't know when. I don't know exactly where. So yeah. just thought I'd let you know. Mr. Damien, how are you? Afternoon, Mr. Peter. Hope all is well. I did a tribute to Ed earlier on, so I'm not going to do another one. So maybe you can go back and rewind that, because I know I was telling people about. I wish I still had it. Do you remember the takeoff you did where he was eating his food and you said, "I got a sneaky feeling I'm going to enjoy it." It was so funny, and Ed liked it as well. But I can't find it. I don't know where it is now. I don't know. Maybe if you've still got it, we can show it next week again. Okay, right. Ronald, no, you responded talking about the nightlife in Hua Hin, but the guy asked about Sha'am. Okay, it's really difficult sometimes because the comments are coming in fast. You don't want to upset everybody, so I'm trying to handle all the comments and speak at the same time. So Sha'am, we nearly considered moving to Sha'am because it is a nice town. There's nice beaches. They do have a Lotus, and that's a supermarket. They do have a Metro. They have various markets and things. They do have a lot of restaurants. They have a little bit of a nightlife area. It's just one street really with half a dozen bars, maybe a bit more than that, maybe 10 bars. But it's very, very quiet. It's the thing about Hua Hin. It's got everything here. It's a real vibrant town. It's not Pattaya, but it's a good town. It's underrated. But Chatham is quiet. It's a really quiet town, and some guys prefer that, but it's too quiet for me. And if you're a nightlife person, you wouldn't like Chatham. In fact, I met one guy over here before I was living here who actually told me he initially came out here and moved to Chatham because he thought it was nice and it was cheap. It's cheap there. And he says he got a car or a scooter, and he said he was coming every day to Hua Hin because he just got bored, and it's a half an hour each way. So he was doing an hour's traveling each way. And then in the end, he moved out here to Hua Hin. No, I'll tell you what Christmas movie I like to watch. It's A Wonderful Life. Do you remember that old black and white one with Henry Fonda in it from about 1947? That's a Christmas movie I like to watch. Okay. Right, Colin. Evening, Peter. Evening, all. Just got back from Hua Hin. I forgot how big it is. Felt huge. Took my parents. They loved it. Yeah, a lot of people come. Some people don't like it down here. They say old fellas come down here to die, but you don't get those big groups of. Not naming them, but when you walk around Pattaya, you've got big groups, haven't you, of certain races of people, and not being racist, but it's just they're everywhere. They don't move out the way, spitting on the floor and peeing in the beach and all that. You don't get any of that here. It's a much nicer experience. Paul, he said, I've cut back on my food, only one KFC bucket a day. So my biggest problem, Paul, was eating at night. I do enjoy a beer in the evening, and I'll have a couple of beers after I finish the members stream tonight. But the problem is, when you drink, it makes you hungry, and you can have all the willpower in the day and say, right, I mustn't eat at night. But once you've had a few beers and hunger pains come in, and you can have a cheese toasty on the go or a homemade burger. They even sell in the supermarkets here now. They even sell Greg's the Baker's chicken slices, cheese and onion slices. You get everything, chicken and mushroom pies, and I've got a kitchen with gas. I can cook, and it's so hard just turning the TV off and going to bed. But when occasionally, if I do eat in the evenings, I'm really angry with myself in the morning. I wake up, I feel bloated, and if I eat enough, if I eat like quite something substantial, I really try not to now. What happens is I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't get back to sleep, and it just kills my whole day because I try to sleep again. I can't sleep. And I looked it up on AI. I said, I had a meal last night quite late. Every time I do that, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Why? And what AI came up with, it said, well, basically what you're doing is when you put that food into your body needs to burn it up. So it needs you to be active. It's trying to get rid of the energy, and you're trying to sleep, and it doesn't work. So it wakes you up, and that makes a lot of sense, but it's a killer. I was talking to my friend Jim, the American guy I mentioned before. He does it occasionally. He sends me a picture of a pizza in them, and he says, I'm so angry with myself, because I've got pizza in the freezer, and a few beers. You think, sorry, I'll have a pizza. And then in the morning, you think about it, you see the pizza box out on the table. I even forget I've eaten, I come out under the pizza box on the table, or a butter knife and a load of empty crackers, and the cheese is half gone, and I look at it and think, was that me? Dear, oh dear. Franco, how you doing? Nice to see you in. Better late than never, says to Damon, says Franco. Okay. Yoz, do you go to Banmo Satay night food market? Great place to eat. The main one I like is there's one not too far from me called Lunar Market, which is only about a mile away. Okay. I go there quite often. I go to Ban Kun Po. That's a big night market in the middle of Hua Hin with the dancer goes and the band. And there's a couple of other markets I go to, but I don't know. I don't recognize the name of them. No. They're kind of like towards Monkey Mountain that way. Jay over there on Facebook. Do you have to declare the income you get from your social media? Would it affect your retirement visa? Well, firstly, I'm not on a retirement visa, and that's not something I would kind of talk about publicly anyway. Torley, is it? Greetings from Udon Thani here. I was looking for your channel, managed to find it through Grok, ChatGPT, failed 2 to 3 years since I've been at you. This is my first trip. These abbreviations, I don't get them, Great time here. Cheers. Oh, from Norway, Tor. Okay, yeah, we hope you'll bookmark me and keep coming in each 2 weeks. The streams I really enjoy. I mean, I enjoy these streams, but the one I did one on the beach in, I forget the name of the beach. It's about 40 miles away. Beautiful, surrounded by mountains at each end of the bay. Totally blue water, just a few, a little bit of places to eat and stuff. And I was sitting there and I looked at my phone, checked the speed of Google, and it was about 60. And I thought, I can do a live stream. No introductions, no countdowns, nothing. I just clicked go live. And while I was sitting down, it was a fairly good picture, but it's very difficult to put comments on screen, when you're on a small mobile phone. I've tried hooking it up to a 10-inch Android and stuff, but it kind of slows down. I don't know why. Right. Ricardo, hi, Pete. It's a wonderful life started. Oh, it's James Stewart. That's it. You corrected rightly. Why did I say Henry Fonda? What he was in there? What was Henry Fonda? I didn't like him as an actor, Henry Fonda. Henry Fonda. Yeah, it was James Stewart. Yeah, very good film. Watched it about 3 times. That's why she's my girlfriend. No, she doesn't. No, what it is with her, which she trusts me now, and I trust her. Like I said earlier in the stream, she's gone up to Lotbury. I spoke to her today because her sister's brother has died, and she's gone up for the funeral. And then she's coming back to Bangkok tomorrow, and she'll be out with Jim and his girlfriend because they're very good friends. But in answer to your question, does your girlfriend not mind you drinking? She doesn't really like it, but I tell you what it is. The first year, she was very, very jealous, as all Thai girls are. And all her friends said, well, you're with a Farang. He'll be wanting to go out to the... Sorry about this. I always get this when I do the streams. Let me just clear out the exhaust pipes. Okay, there we go. So the first year, she's very, very jealous. She's okay now. She doesn't put any pressure on me. She's not jealous. But, I used to say to her, I'd be pouring a drink. She'd be looking at me and she'd say, look, I really don't mind you drinking because, look, you enjoy a drink. You're here. I can see you're not chasing bar girls. We're together. But now she's kind of starting to move down the road. I don't really like you drinking so much. I want you to be healthy and all this. And I'm like, look, I've had my liver checked out. I've had my kidneys checked out recently. I don't drink in the daytime at all. Normally I have a couple of beers about 6 and I knock it on the head. And about 9:30, I might have a couple of glasses of whiskey soda, something like that, and a couple more beers. But that's it. Martin, will you ever get remarried? No, I don't think so. There's no reason to get married again. For instance, if I'm still, I say if, I probably will be. If my girlfriend and I are still together, in 5 years, I'll probably just make a will. And, that's a legal document here, isn't it? Obviously, I'll have 2 wills. One will be my UK will and one will be my Thai will. Yours, Ban Musati is a huge one with a stage in the live music. No, it's not. It's not called, it's called, yeah, I go there very often, yours, but it's actually called, God, now I've forgotten it now. Ban Kun Po, which means my father's house, something like that, loosely translated. Yes, Ban Kun Po. And if you look at the hotel, it's actually got that written on the hotel. When you said Ban Mu Satay, I'm like, where's that? I've never heard of it. Yeah, no, lots of times I go there very often. The only thing is I go there early because the band is far too loud. Once the band starts up, you just can't hear yourself talk. You can't have a conversation and the plates are literally bouncing on the table. They're just so loud. And this is a complaint I've had from, not a complaint, but a lot of people have said, I go early, have a couple of beers and I leave. The band start at 8. The Thais seem to like their music real loud, but for me, there's a couple of markets I go to where they have live music, but you can still talk. It's at a level where it's nice to listen to that music, but you can still have a conversation. Over there, you have to shout so loud that if someone's talking to you and they shout in your ear, your ears actually start ringing, because it's so, yeah. But I do like the food over there, I must admit. Colin says, my favorite live stream you did was on a beach road in Pattaya, and you spoke to all the ladies, was elite level. Yeah, I remember that one. That was when, not the usual ladies like, how much and where you're from and all that. It was a really hot evening. If you didn't see that stream, it was a really hot evening, still air, even on the beach. And I was walking and I just was dying of thirst. And I sat down on this, there was kind of like some chairs on the beach, but behind there was a kind of a table, and there were 3 girls sitting on this table, and they were kind of older women, and they looked like they were kind of not really fussed if they get someone or they don't, and they were expecting that they probably wouldn't get anybody, and one of them, I just started talking to them, and I said, "Are you all right, girls?" And it turned out that one of them was or 2 of them worked in a hotel cleaning rooms, and the other worked in a laundry in a hotel. And what they used to do is when they finished their shift at 6 o'clock, they'd go out and have a meal, then they'd hang around the beach. And if they got picked up, then it was a bonus. And if they didn't care, because their job was in the hotel. And I was thirsty, and I went to get a drink for myself. And I can't go back and not give them a drink. So I bought them all orange juice or something like that, Manal Som, something like that. And I bought myself a drink, and I sat down and I gave them all a drink, and they were really appreciative of it. I wasn't trying to be a hero or white knight. They're human beings, and they're hot as well, right? And I got them, I bought myself a drink. So I sat down and had a bit of a conversation with them. And, I know what they do for a living, but these 3 women, I won't say girls, they're women. They turned out to be really, really nice women, and they were just trying to get by in life. They had full-time jobs in the hotels, and they'd hang around the beach at night. And, some people might judge them, but they were, as people, as human beings, they were really nice. And I was happy to meet them. And that's the stream the guy's on about. I think it's that one anyway. Right. Let me just say thank you to Praval. You've done it again, Praval. Thank you. Gifted 5 Thailand band memberships. So some people, they rather than leave super chats, as you can see, I haven't had any tonight. Some people like to buy memberships. If you want to be in it where you get a membership, you have to turn it on. There's 3 dots. If somebody knows how to do it, please explain it. I'll put the text up there, because I'm not I don't know how to do it actually, because I don't get the 3 dots. But 5 of you now, your name will go green, or there'll be a green symbol, which means you're a member, and you come into the members stream. You might like it later on. And if you do see that you become a member, you've got Pravo to thank. And he can't choose who he gives them to. He just says buy 5 memberships, and YouTube just give them out willy-nilly. I remember Brian Flowers came into the stream a couple of times. He bought 50 memberships. I was like, blimey, Brian. But yeah, thanks, Pravo. It's very generous of you. Okay. Alibaba says, good Christmas turkey and beef Wellington at all Christmas malls. Yeah. Yeah, I knew the jokes would start. I said this at the beginning of the stream. Now, I trust her. I'm not going to be story number 305 or 325. We've been together 3 years now. I know, I know where she is. I know what she's doing. I won't tell you how I know, but I do. They're all coming out. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Well, she's on an island. She's on an island doing a week, right? Anton, I've met a few ladies who work in Bangkok and have children back home raised by parents. Also a retired go-go girl living off a sponsorship. Is it normal for Thai families to raise a daughter's children? So I don't know about normal, but it seems to be a necessity in some cases, because there's no welfare system here, virtually next to nothing, right? And what happens, a typical scenario is a girl gets married young, or she gets pregnant young. She's up in a village somewhere, or just out of a major city, and she, they meet at school. They're very, very young. She gets pregnant at, say, 17, 18, maybe 21, because that's a legal age. But, I'm sure being in a village. And then what happens is a boyfriend does a runner, so she's on her own, or they get married and he turns out to gamble all the money. Well, that's a big problem here, gambling and drinking, and a lot of the girls they know they're going nowhere in that relationship. So what happens? She's now got a baby or 2 babies. She's got no man providing for her. She's got to provide for her baby, her elderly mother. Maybe she's got a younger sister who's at school. No one's going to take care of them. So what would you do in her case? So she can't take the baby down to Pattaya or Phuket, can she? So it's a case of a necessity. Those people need to eat, right? So the only way in that situation is a girl goes to work in a bar and the mother has to look after the baby. There's no other way, So I don't think it's kind of, what's the word you used? I don't think it's normal. I put it that way, but it's kind of happens a lot, for those reasons I've just given you. Torley, is it? I will. Sorry about the shortening. Only so many letters I could write. Have a great time. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that's the reason they do that is because some people write War and Peace in the comments. Krista, is it? I meet my wife online. I told her that I am fat and drink too much. So every time she complains, I just say, I told you. Good one. I'll tell you a true story about my girlfriend. So I was here for 5 months before I actually hooked up with her. I met a couple of terrible ones who, the first time I met them, they just said, I need money to pay some bills. I'm like, bye. Or, I like to hang out in rooftop bars. Do you? Okay, bye. But I tell you what, my girlfriend told me about 8 months after, because I used to be really fat. You look at my old videos. I mean, I'm not slim now, but I was kind of Paul Hoskins fat. I'm sure Paul won't mind me saying that. I had a big gut on me and, my face was puffed up. And so I arranged to meet her at Nana BTS station. I met her on Tinder. We had quite a few conversations. And one day I said, what are you doing today? Because she worked at the hospital. She said, I'm off. So I got some courage up, And I said, look, why don't you jump on the BTS, come to Nana, meet me. We'll go for a walk in Benjamin Park. It's a nice evening, and we'll see how it goes from there. And she decided, so I waited at the top of the escalator on Nana BTS. But what she did, because I was looking at my phone and looking at my phone, she came through the ticket booth, and instead of coming straight up to me like this, there's ATMs and stuff in the middle of the station there. She went round the far side and looked at me first, sized me up. Then she went back round, she come over. It was only after about nearly a year of being with me. She said it was 50-50. I nearly got back on the train. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, in your picture, you look good. But when I seen you in real life, you're wearing shorts and a T-shirt. You're really overweight. And I said, well, why did you come over at all then? She said, well, you did look like you had something about you. And she says, you turned out to be quite kind. And it's worked out. And I've been really lucky. But it could have gone the other way, couldn't it? She could have looked at me and thought, no, fat git, I'm getting back on the train, I think I was very fortunate to meet her. She's a really nice girl, Could be a pain in the backside sometimes, but can't they all? Graham, thanks very much, mate. Appreciate that. Taxi to Lao. I haven't seen you in the stream for, it's got to be 2 years, hasn't it? Unless you popped in a few months ago and I can't remember. Hi, Peter. Is the new faster train service to Bangkok now running? It is. But it isn't that much faster. I actually want to do a video and I've never taken a train in Thailand. I don't think I have. My girlfriend's coming up from Bangkok on Tuesday. She's gone from Bangkok to here on train. She said 3 hours, but I believe it's 3.5. But it could be 3 hours because that could be the new train. But it's not much faster than a bus, from what people tell me. Okay. That's a good question. You say, are you similar age friends that you ate out in Bangkok, in Indian restaurants, etc., have settled in with Thai women in these places, or still prefer to live in Bangkok? So it's a good question. So usually it's the same guys who come out here to live. This is how it normally goes with them, and I see this over and over again. A lot of guys come out here on holiday for a couple of weeks, a month, maybe even 2 months, right? And when they come out here, because they spend 10 months, 11 months in their own country, it's raining, they're at work and everything. When they come out here, they turn into mongers. They go to the go-go bars, gentlemen's clubs, they have a ball, you know what I'm saying? And they go home, another 11 months or 6 months, come out and do it again. But what happens when you come out and live here, from what I've seen, this is most guys, not all guys. So the guy will come out to live here, and the first kind of 6 months to a year, he'll carry on how he was when he came on holiday, so he'll be going to Nana, he'll be taking all different girls. But eventually it wears thin. It does become boring, because there's no feeling with the girl. It's just a transaction, isn't it? And what happens is, there's only so many beautiful girls around, and, there's no feeling from her. She just wants to jump in the shower and get back on that stage, right? And it becomes boring after a while. This is what the guys tell me. And then they end up, looking for a decent girl, or somebody, when I say decent girl, somebody who's not working in the entertainment world, and it is possible to still to meet those sort of girls. And then you find once they find the right girl, they stay with them, like me. You know, I mean, okay, I was married for years, but I used to go out to the bars and the go-go bars, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I remember being in Therme Cafe until 6 a.m, coming out really drunk and watching the Thais going to work on those red buses. You know, that's in the old days when bars stayed open literally all night. You know. But I'm getting on in life now. You know, I just want a peaceful life, quiet life. That's why I'm down here. I still enjoy making YouTube videos. I still enjoy meeting people. And it's nice having a full-time partner as opposed to what it used, what it could have been rather. The only thing for me is I can't meet as many viewers here. I used to meet a lot of viewers in Bangkok because I was in the center of Bangkok and they normally stayed in hotels in the center of Bangkok. So it was easy to just say, yeah, I'll see you for lunch down at, I don't know, Det 5 or something in Soi 8. But here I'm 7 miles out of town, and everybody comes here on holiday. They're going to be in town, aren't they? So for me to go meet somebody, it's a 14, 15-mile round trip, you know. And if I do that 3-4 times a week, it gets a little bit tiring, you know, not tiring as in sleeping tiring, but, you know, just boring going back and forth, back and forth. So I don't get to see as many people as I'd like to see. Like when I was in Bangkok, I don't regret coming down here. Some people said you will regret living in Hua Hin, but there's so many positive sides to being here as opposed to Bangkok. There's a couple of things that I preferred in Bangkok. I preferred Benji Park. It was great. I'm not getting enough exercise here because there's nowhere for me to walk. I used to do a minimum of an hour every single day at 5:30, 6 o'clock in Benji Park. I missed that. I missed the swimming pool that was on the roof of my apartment building. Great long swimming pool. I used to do some laps. You know, but other than that, not much more. The air's cleaner down here. It's much slower going. There's a nice vibe. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy down here. No regrets, as they say. You didn't bother me, believe me. It takes a lot more than that to bother me. Favorite Ed Sweeney vid when he was followed back to his hotel by a ladyboy in Cambodia. The one I liked is the one where he said he went to the Philippines. Ed, he did a video. He went to the Philippines, and there was one girl on the stage of this go-go bar, and somebody handed her a bowl of noodles, and she was kind of doing this slow, not even dancing. She was eating these noodles. I mean, how much of a turn off is that? You know, there's one girl on stage and she's eating noodles on stage, you know. And then there was the other one where he had the rant, you know, where he come out. The band were playing his favorite song. Oh, I keep having to change positions. That still hurts. He was in a bar somewhere and the band were playing his favorite song, and they kind of cut it short, and he went ballistic. You know, he'd had a few, and he come out of this bar. He said, "Why do they keep cutting the end off these songs? That was my favorite song." You know, he used to like a good old rant sometimes. Did Ed? Right. I missed that. Thai American. I missed your super chat. Sorry, mate. I do appreciate it. I must have been ranting on about something. Thank you very much. Okay. We'll meet one day when you get here. MEDEA Tucker. Okay. Okay. Paul Hoskins says, I'm all muscle. I don't believe you, Paul, if you're 100 and, what was it you said, 118 kilos? Now, that's an interesting comment, yours. Women love insulting, not knowing it's an insult. I'll tell you a true story. I've told this story years ago. So, you know, Thais, when they talk, they want to, because they don't speak, not all of them speak great English. They'll tell you something that they believe it's the correct way to say it, but it can come out as a real insult. And a really good example of this was years ago. There was an English woman, kind of a plumpish, I'm being polite, okay? A plumpish woman went into the shop, a clothes shop. She was looking through all the dresses, and the Thai girl, she didn't mean to insult her, but this is the only way she meant. She wanted to say, if she spoke English, she would have said, "Oh, I'm ever so sorry, we don't have any XL or larger dresses. You know, they're a little bit small for Thai people." But what she said, because she didn't know how to express herself, she said, "Oh, madame, I'm sorry, we don't have for fat people." You know? And you can imagine what this poor woman felt like. And then she was highly offended, but she didn't mean to offend her. Thai Billy Boy, my doctor said I have put weight on and asked what was my best weight I've been. I said 6 pounds 5 ounces. Very good. Shrewd move by the girlfriend. Okay. If you have never taken a train in Thailand, you haven't lived Unreal. So I've got to go up. I think I'm doing a video with a few YouTubers up in Bangkok. Peter from Thai Legal Protection is putting something together. I know I'm going to be in it. Who else is it? There's about 3 other guys. I don't know how it's going to work, so I better not give too much away. But I'm going up in February. My plan is to try and take the train from here to Bangkok, because I hate driving from Hua Hin to Bangkok. Well, when I was in Soi 8, the last sort of 30 miles, it was like having teeth extracted. It was horrible. Yeah, all right, Paul. Then your alarm clock goes off and you wake up, right? Yoz, Wiggler, he was shouting from the first floor, "You stay away, you stay down there." Okay, I never seen that video, unfortunately. I remember the one where he was in Cambodia and he was a little bit drunk and he was talking to the camera, and he had this absolutely stunning Cambodian girl, real ruby red lipstick on, and she was hanging off him and kissing him on the cheek, and there was love hearts going off in the background, and he was like, look, really beautiful girl. Ronald says, you only keep off the weights you lost as long as you stay off the meds. Well, I was on the weight loss injections, and I was paying for the 2.5 milligrams. I was paying 12,500 baht. I mean, that's a lot of money, right? And that was only a month's supply. Then I went up to I did that for 2 months. Then I went up to 5 milligrams, and that was 14,900. And I was going to do another month, although it's a lot of money. It was working well for me, and I went to a clinic here, and because they do have it down here, and I went to a clinic and they wanted 17,500 for a month's supply of the weight loss injection. I thought, no. I mean, how much is that? Let's have a look. Let's do a quick calculation on that. So 17,500. Let's do 42, divided by 42. Yeah, I mean, that's 416 pounds. That's 50 quid a week. No, it's £100 a week, isn't it? 103 or 104 pound. I mean, 416 pounds. That's a lot of money for a month's supply. I mean, if I was rich, no problem, but I'm not. No, I don't get bored. So you put I can't pronounce your name. Sorry. You put Peter. Do you sometimes get bored in Hua Hin, missing Bangkok? Or I got more bored in Bangkok, to be honest with you, because I'm not a bars person, because I don't go out to kind of go-go bars and stuff like that, and because I've been going to Bangkok for years and years. I've done all the tourist stuff, all the museums and the sites and the river cruises and the nighttime buffet barge that goes down the river, cruises rather, and all the big malls, Icon Siam and MBK, and I've done it all, right? Even the Grand Palace. And the thing is, I was in 2 rooms and I had a little small balcony. That's what I had, right? So you go outside, it's just full of tourists everywhere. But here, I walk out the back door in the morning with a mug of tea or coffee, and I got a whole garden, my carport. I can walk around. There's a nice breeze in the morning. I can sit down on one of my little camp chairs, start looking at my comments. And it's nice to have the outside space. And no, I don't get bored because I've got a scooter and a car. And if I suddenly was sitting there and I finished with everything and I thought, oh, I'm bored now, I just get on my scooter and try and explore a beach 10 minutes away, something like that, And don't forget, I'm with my girlfriend as well. So we do things together. There's one guy who keeps leaving comments on Facebook. I've blocked him now, but I didn't block him for a while. And he kept saying things like, every time I did a food video or I was in a bar and I uploaded it, he kept saying things like, why don't you take your girlfriend out? You're always leaving your girlfriend at home. You're always going out with your friends. Why don't you take your girlfriend out? And I said, how do you know she wasn't sitting next to me? How do you know? It's not like I don't want to put her on camera. So how do you, he doesn't know she wasn't there. She's always there. That's another thing people say to me. They say, oh, other YouTubers put their girlfriends on camera. Why don't you? It's just personal choice. I don't want to expose her to people who aren't very nice. If other YouTubers put their girlfriends on camera, that's provocative. Is that the right word? It's up to them. Let's put it that way. It's up to them. But I don't want to put her on YouTube. Thanks, Frank. I appreciate that. Frank Bullock. Thai American. Kun Peter, where is the best billiards hall in Hua Hin? Well, they don't really play billiards here too much. It's the biggest the table game like that. You're looking at pool. Pool is very big. There's a pool place called Golden Shot. It's off 94, or it's on 94, but it's right up the top. That's a very, very popular place for pool. And then most of the bars have got a pool table, some good, some not so good. I mean, I was playing pool, was it last night or the night before? I went out and I had a few games because she's not here. I didn't want to sit in the house by myself in the evening. So a friend of mine who lives here, said, come on, we'll go and have a few beers. I went out with Andy, Andrew Hammond, remember, but I went out with a different guy and we had a few beers, game of pool. No, we had 5 games of pool and I beat him on every game and I haven't played for like 8 months. But you won't have a problem finding anywhere to play pool, Thai American. Yeah, that was a word I was looking for earlier, self-discipline. Hopefully, I've got terrible self-discipline. But saying that, do you remember I did that diet just before COVID ended? I lost how much was it? 19 kilos. I look like a skinny rate, but when you lose the weight, you do look older. That's the problem, because when I lost all this, the skin starts to hang in your neck, looks all, I'm an old person, aren't I? So, get my old age pension next year. No, not at all, Alibaba. I don't miss Thermo Cafe. That's changed. That's evolved over the years. I mean, I've got to say this in a kind of neutral way. Okay, when I used to go in there, like 96, 97, 98, my heyday in Bangkok, it was full of Europeans and Americans, okay, and Australians, if you get my drift, okay. Now you go in there, I'd say 80% of the clientele are Koreans, Chinese, not so much Chinese, Japanese and Koreans. And to be frank, a lot of the girls will tell you, I only go with Japanese, I only go with Koreans, because they don't barter. We'll go in there, and some guys will go in there, how much? And the girl will say 3, and they're like, no, it's a bit expensive, I'll give you 2. And the Japanese, they don't do that. It's like the Japanese will just buy her a drink and take her and ask how much afterwards. Just give her a wad of cash. So in Thurman, I've had friends girls have said, I'm sorry, I only go with Japanese. Damien Peter, I walked past your condo last week, brought back some memories. Yeah, I wonder who's living. There must be somebody living there now, right? Okay, I can't remember all these videos. Yeah, I mean, you put it in a polite way. So you get, there's a few Indian restaurants here, but you don't get the hordes like you do in Pattaya walking around. You don't get the big groups of Chinese. Most of the foreigners down here who live, there's a big expat community down here. I looked it up on AI, and it's something like the population of Hua Hin is something like 78,000. And the foreign expat community is about 7,000. But you'll find the biggest majority of people here who have retired here, they're Dutch. There's a big Dutch community here. There's a lot of Swiss here. There's Americans, Germans, English. But it seems to be a lot of the tourists who live, not tourists, a lot of the expats who live here seem to be fairly wealthy, or not super rich, but, I think they've had good businesses and they've sold up and come here. And one thing I was trying to figure out the other day, nearly every single foreigner that I see here has a girlfriend or a wife with him. And I'm looking, and there's a lot of them, and I'm thinking, there can't be that many nice girls in Hua Hin. The supply and the demand mustn't match. There isn't that many Thai girls who want to go with Farang, right? And I've come to the conclusion that most guys who move down here, they're like me. They met their girlfriend wherever they were, in Bangkok or Udon Thani or Khon Kaen, whatever, came here on holiday and thought, it's nice here, let's move here. And they've come down here and he's bought his wife a house, or, however they want to do it. And, but yeah, it's just a different vibe down here to what it is in Bangkok. Andrew, just tuned in. I'm late. I'm sorry. Well, I did show your picture, Andrew. I'll show it again. Look, and I did tell everyone we had a night out. There we are. Look, having a drink in Soy Binta Bar. And Andrew was absolute. I called him Mr. Machine Gun, because when he gets drunk, he talks like a machine gun. So fast, and you can't get a word in. I'm not being horrible, but he looked at his video in the morning. He says, "Yeah, I now realize why you call me Mr. Machine Gun." But he's a nice guy. And I did put your video up in the what do you call it? I put the I don't know what I'm trying to say now. I advertised your YouTube channel that people could click on it. Okay, but there it is. If anybody wants to go, he's a nice guy and he does some good. Andrew's not like me, where he just stays in Thailand. He goes all around the world. He does hostels. He does cheap trains. He does some interesting videos. Right, let me get rid of that handsome man there. And just in case Sam came in late as well, that's Sam Moffat. I met him 2 weeks ago here in Hua Hin, and nice guy. Been in the streams, not all the time, but comes and goes over the years. I think he's been watching for about 5 years. Anybody else I need to show? I think that's it. Right, okay. We're running out of time now. We've got about 9 minutes left before I have to go and fill my water bottle up and get ready for the member stream. people telling their favorite. My favorite Ed Sweeney video was a walk and a talk in Bangkok, not realizing he took a wrong turn and ended up in the middle of a massive construction site surrounded by workmen and concrete mixers. Yeah, very funny. Okay, Anton, thank you very much for that, mate. I appreciate that. I was in Bangkok a couple of weeks ago. I sent Peter a video of one of those loud trucks selling brooms going up and down the sois because I knew he'd be Soi 8 sick. So I used to pretend I was in Soi 10. Thanks for the super chat, by the way, Anton. I used to pretend I lived in Soi 10 because you do get nutters about, and I was threatened, and I did have people tell me they were going to beat me up when they come to Bangkok. For what? Because they didn't like my videos. You know, I mean, they're nutters, aren't they? You know, I told you one guy threatened to smack me in the face. Another guy was going to do this to me, do that to me. So I said I lived in Soi 10. You know, I didn't want to give it away. It wasn't too hard to work out. But I showed everybody when I moved down here, I showed people my condo building where I really lived and just trying to protect myself. Okay. Right, if you've got a question, now would be a really good time to ask it because the comments have kind of dried up a little bit. Franco, what are you saying? 242 is still watching, but it seems only 51 likes. We're not enjoying the stream. Yeah, come on, guys, don't be miserable. Give me a thumbs up. It don't cost you anything, and it helps me in the YouTube algorithm. To be fair, I think some guys, they listen, you know, they're on a mobile phone at work, and I do believe you can't do a thumbs up on a iPhone. Somebody told me if you use an iPhone, you can't do a thumbs up on YouTube. Really weird. Okay. Okay, I've got some notes here. Let's refer to these. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you a video now. I was going to keep this till after, but the chat's kind of dried up a little bit. Okay, so let's talk quality tourists. I laughed when I seen this. Maybe I should. Right. So we talk about quality tourists, and we're being sarcastic. Okay. So there's this woman. She gets a lift. This is in Phuket, right? I won't say where she's from, but you can probably work it out when you see the video here. I've redone the video to shorten it so you can just see the action part. So there's a woman gets picked up by one of those Toyota minibuses. She's going to the airport, and the Thais are not reasonable, are they? I mean, I said that wrong. The Thais are reasonable. You know, you have to do things that are pretty bad to wind them up, you know, call them names or try to, you know, I'm getting to the point. I'm just building up the excitement here. So there's this woman. She gets to the airport and she's eating sweets, candy, whatever, and biscuits and everything. And she leaves a load of papers and an empty bottle and all this stuff on the seat, right? That's his workplace, his van, right? All she has to do is gather it up, put it in the bin outside the airport, and she just gets out the van like a Karen, like an entitled Karen, okay? So the driver politely asks, can you take your rubbish with you? She just doesn't take it, and he gets a bit agitated, and it gets into an argument, and then he bottles up, as you do. It's right at the very beginning of the video. It's a plastic bottle full of water, so it didn't hurt that much, but it takes a lot to get a Thai to do this to you, all right? You ready? It's right at the beginning. Just in case you missed it, I'll play it again, right? Just when the pixels move over slightly. Quality tourists there, quality tourists. Okay. Not sure about that one. The blow says, so the easy change from Monga to Monga Gami, is related to age. All right. Ronald, yes, you can, but you need to close the chat. Okay. All right. You're talking about doing a thumbs up. Yeah. So a lot of people can't be bothered, can they? Okay. Not true. I just gave you the thumbs. Well, I don't have an iPhone and I've never tried it, but somebody actually left that comment a couple of times on previous streams because we always have this conversation. You know, people are watching and it's like, well, you know, there's over 200 in and there's only 50 thumbs up. Are you not enjoying the stream? And somebody said, well, if you've got an iPhone, you can't actually do a thumbs up. So obviously they're wrong. Robert, I mentioned the blind massage earlier. I did put up their board. I put up their address. If you go back near the beginning of the stream, you'll see it. I did mention it. Robert lives in Hua Hin here. I met him in the bank. Nice guy. I'm hoping to meet him for a game of pool, but I've just been tied up really quite a lot. But if you go back to near the beginning and play the stream from the start, Ronald, you see I did put up their price board. I did put up their address, and I did talk a little bit about it. So I don't want to repeat myself now because I've got 3 minutes left until I have to take a short break for the members, set up the member stream. Jesse, how you doing? I'm on an iPhone. People are going to slaughter me now, right? Any new scams in Thailand? Any new scams in Thailand? I mean, a lot of the newer scams are cyber related now. The old days, it was popping a bill in your bill pot, wasn't it? But you know, I'm gonna have a really good. That's a good question. I'm gonna have a think about that, and I might do five brand new scams here in Thailand because I'm sure there are, and I'm sure I know what they are. But you've just got me on the spot there, and I can't think of one off the top of my head. But good subject for a video. Okay. Bradley says I saw the massage clip. Okay. Damon. Peter, talking about blind, are you still in contact with the blind guy? Are you talking about Noel? He does send me the occasional message. He doesn't. I don't think he watches religiously like he used to. In one of my viewers or subscribers, a guy called Noel. He's blind, and he used to enjoy. He might still do, but you know, he's got limitations if you're blind. Although they can still get on with having a good life, right? He used to like to sit and listen to the Saturday stories, and he also used to like to be involved in the streams. He couldn't. He sent me emails, so it must be Braille, right, or some sophisticated software. I don't know nothing about it, but he could send me emails, okay? And I wrote back. But in answer to your question, Damien, I'll get an email from him once every 3 months, and I always make sure I write a nice email back to him. You know, it must mean a lot to him, you know, to be able to communicate with some people. I always have a problem with your name, so I'll put it up. Peter, Thailand is getting rid of backpackers, moving to big spenders, tourists, expats. They will do the same with retirees. I don't agree with that at all. Thailand wants tourists here, okay? They want to know that they can afford to stay here. They want quality tourists. They don't want people who haven't got two pennies to rub together, beggars, you know, who've got signs up on, you know, please give, I'm traveling the world on a budget and all this. They don't want those sort of people here. They don't want scammers who are using tourist stamps to stay longer. Genuine people who meet the rules are very welcome in Thailand, okay? If you do what immigration asks you to do and you do it right, you don't have to go anywhere. This is my 4th year, so I'm living proof, okay? And there's guys who have been living here for 20 years, even 30 years, okay? All right. Okay, guys, look, I'm going to have to go now. It's what we are just coming up to 9:30 in the evening here in Bangkok. Now, I'll be back in 15 minutes for the members stream. I've got a lot going on tonight. I've got some good news articles, some quirky stories. I've got Spot the Ladyboy, Spot the Thai Girl. I've got another competition that I'll tell you about in the members stream. I've got Joke of the Week and lots of interesting stuff to talk to. I'm going to leave with my own little tribute to Ed Sweeney. Thank you to everybody who for the super chats and everybody who participated. If you're not a member and you're not coming to the next stream, I'll see you in the next stream. So thanks for everything. One of Ed's favorite songs that he used to put on his videos, I managed to dig up, and it's quite poignant, if that's the right word. Okay. So I'm going to say good night to you, and I'm going to say rest in peace, Ed Sweeney. We're all going to miss you.